Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. Hardly any wind today guys, maybe 10 k's. So unusual on the JH Practice Tee. Okay guys, now I don't know if I should do this video. Today was going to be the video and the title was going to be the Golden Cherry or the Holy Grail of CL, of channel lock. And I really think what I've got now as the final atomic particle of channel lock is the Holy Grail of this golf swing. Now again guys, everything that I talk about and I demonstrate is relative to what I'm going to put into my protocol. You don't have to do it, but I'll always evolve this protocol. As Mo Norman said, you can always play better and you can always swing better. So I'll never ever rest the CL protocol. There'll always be a base protocol with all the base tenets in it, but it'll never rest as an entity, even though I termed the other day the final model. Now the standard model, and with the preset in it, is the standard model. But additionally to that myself, I've added something that I think is the Holy Grail of a component for the protocol. But guys, you've got to think about the Holy Grail and think of what happened to in that Harrison Ford movie. Where that guy, when they got into that cave and that guy found the Holy Grail and someone said, don't open it, and he did. And it just vaporized him. And really, for some people to try and apply this, what I term the Holy Grail, it could vaporize your golf swing and your whole outlook towards the golf swing. But I'll tell you about it, and what you choose to do with it is similar to what was in that movie. The Holy Grail's there. If you want to take the lid off it, it's up to you. He may not have been the person that was worthy of the Holy Grail, and that's why he was obliterated. But guys, for me, it's made an enormous difference to my golf swing and my ball striking. I've never been a great ball striker. I've been adequate for the level of golf that I've played over the years, but I've never been a world-class ball striker or a tour-class ball striker. But I've got by, and I've had my purple patches. But what I've achieved with, or what I had with channel lock, the Holy Grail of channel lock yesterday, was ball striking the likes of which I've never experienced. And just, again, it's probably like finding the Holy Grail and you say, wow. And I think that, the best way I can describe it is that it must be what Mo Norman felt like every time he hit the golf ball. He just knew he was going to hit that perfect shot or that perfect contact, and it was just a feeling. And I said to him, I said, Mo, how did you know when you were growing up and you were experimenting that you had the golf swing that you wanted and you never wanted to change again? Because you told me that when you were about 19, nearly 20, that you found it and that was it. You knew you never wanted to change it. And he just looked straight at me and he said, you will know the day you find it. You will know. And those words are prophetic, because yesterday they just reverberated in my mind. And I thought, now I know what he meant, because I knew when I got it that I had and I'd achieved what I've always wanted in my golf swing. Okay guys, without further ado, now again, it's up to you what you do with it, and it's certainly not a prerequisite for channel lock. Okay, now what it is that once we go into preset, and we go back here, the first movement down in the downswing, guys, is just totally counterintuitive. And I call this move on the downswing the counterwind. This is a counterwinding process. And that once I've got to the top of the swing here, instead of normally moving this way as the first movement coming down, I'll still have pressure being exerted in that direction, but I'll also have a counter pressure, which is this here. When I take the club to the top here, what I'm feeling on the downswing is that. I'm feeling for the first part of the downswing that shoulder moves that way, and that knee and that hip move that way. It moves that way. There. I've still got pressure going that way, but the actual movement, the feeling of movement, direction is that way in the downswing. This shoulder quadrant, what I want it to do is move that way, the first thing in the downswing, and basically just stay there for a fraction of time, milliseconds or tenth of a second or whatever. And what do I want to do that for, guys? Because what I found out was that if I get to here and I push it there like that, it just lets my arms drop. This whole shoulder girdle here is not having any influence on the direction of my arms, and that they want to be influenced by gravity. If I get up here, no matter how much, even though they're still closed, if they move a little bit that way, that's going to affect the true gravity effect of the downswing, or the true effect of gravity. And that's what we want to have in this golf swing. We want to have really the true effect of gravity in this golf swing. So it's a counter move. When we get to here in the downswing, this is it in slow motion. When I'm here, I'm pushing. As I start down my arms, I'm pushing with that and this shoulder against my arms here. And it's like a buttress. It's like a buttressing against the shoulders wanting to rotate, but also making that part of the body stationary and not affecting the basic straight down fall and the gravity effect of the arms in the golf swing. If we got to here, guys, and we just did that in the golf swing, that's purity of arm movement. And what the great ball strikers have always had. They've always had that pure arm movement just by themselves, swinging down, towards the ball separately of the body. They don't bring the arms down with the body. You'll see that demonstrated a lot. You'll see this from the best teachers in the world. They'll say, do this, do this. Well, I don't think that the best players in the world do that. I think they did that. I think they did that. And this here was a bit of a knock-on and a carryover from that. But all that aside, that's in conventional golf swing. We're not talking about a conventional golf swing here, we're talking about channel lock. So what do I feel? Okay, I feel preset here. And then as I'm starting down, for ease of explanation, I want more preset. As I start down, I want to actually preset my shoulders more, if you can understand that. For simplicity of understanding. That's probably the best way to explain it. I feel on the downswing that my shoulders are actually being added to in terms of the amount of preset in the downswing. Now, guys, it is so subtle. And this is the thing, and you'll have to hit a couple of hundred balls to get the feel of it. I got it by, it was just a feeling I had, and I isolated the feeling. I thought, what is that I'm feeling? And then I went into slow motion, and I said, what is it? What is it? And then I started the downswing, and I went like that. At the top of the swing, I just went like that. I went, see that, guys? I went, see that little movement of the shoulder? That's it. That's the Holy Grail. That's the Holy Grail for me in channel lock. It is that little movement. That's the movement I feel. I get to here and I just feel that. I feel that little here. And what helps that for me is this. You know in a conventional golf swing, they've always said, hit against a firm left side. This being a firm left side. Now, I think that there's a lot of merit in that. But I think that the left side has gone too far left for a right-handed player. And the supporting buttress is not as efficient as it can be. So once I've gone up here and I want to push that there, what helps that is this here. Is that actually pushing? That actually there, pushing against. Now guys, this is tough stuff. This is really, and this is student application learning. This is 11/10ths. In motor racing we used to have a classification for driving your expertise, and it was out of 10, and when you were right on the limit you were 10/10ths. And guys, this is 11/10ths in terms of being able to commit yourself to the studious approach that you need to get this process. So it's here, and then it's there. I get it to here, and as I start down, I actually go here. Brutally hard to understand, and incredibly difficult to take on board as a process, because no one's ever done it. No one has ever talked about a counter move, a counter wind in the downswing, ever. And I never thought about it, and I felt it in a couple of shots. I thought, wow, and the ball flight was, I thought, wow. And I don't know whether it was because I'd had a couple of, little niggling type, soreness in my shoulders from some exercise I've been doing, and maybe that just contributed to it, that the shoulder just didn't want to fire that way. It just wanted to stay there. But when it did stay there, guys, it was something else. So okay, I'll explain it more. Once we've gone here and we preset our hips and we preset our shoulders, here on the downswing we preset a bit more. It's here. First movement down is that. First movement is that way. Guys, the first movement is that way with your shoulder. Starting down, it's not that way. And it's not even that way, it's that way. Or that way. Wherever that shoulder's pointing, that's the movement. It's actually just a little tip there. And that is enough to let the arms drop and then start firing in free fall. That's really what it's about. The arms get into perfect free fall. And they're not blocked, they're not pulled, they're not doing anything. They're just dropped, and then they get going, and then the pull comes on and everything else happens. But that initial starting of it there, just that little bit there. Here's our preset. Here's our preset. Here, it's that. And get in front of a mirror at home and do this. Preset, get to the top of the swing, before you start down, do that. And get the feeling. And you'll feel the pressure here, wanting to help you and stabilize that movement. Do that. Take it to the top here. Pre-turn it here, and then as you start down, pre-turn a little bit more here. As I say, guys, I have to think about this. I may not even put it up because it is so difficult, and really it's the sort of thing that you really need to learn with, for example, myself here with you, holding on to you. If I had Mr. X here today, I could hang on to him and I could show you and get him to to relay the feeling. And if he's here tomorrow, we might just do an addition or an addendum to this video, and I may not put this video up until I do the other one, but I may put it up. But if I had him, I could actually explain to you really totally the feeling, because I would get him to verbally express what he was feeling with the pressure and where the pressure was going. I've picked a great place to hit golf balls from today, guys. It's just ridiculous. Alright, but the reason I come over here is the sun's good. Bit noisy over there. There's some stuff going on over here. So I come over here. Okay, I'll just hit a couple of shots. Got 5 on here, guys. I'm going to preset, I'm going to flare that foot. Preset the shoulder. Now look at this, guys. That's the first shot of the day. Look at this. You know what that is? That's the feeling of that shoulder blocking the downswing. That's that feeling. That shoulder is still closed when I hit the golf ball, significantly now. And it's still there. After I've hit it, it's still here. It hasn't gone to here and then rotated over onto that lead side. Now guys, that's first shot of the day, and I'm dead cold, and I have got a bit of a tweaky shoulder at the moment, but and that actually hurt. But that's basically the you won't see it because it's subtle. Come on, preset the hips, JH. A lot of back cock. You won't see it, but you'll feel it when you get it. And you've got to do it leisurely. You really must do it leisurely. If you don't do it leisurely, you'll lose the... I shouldn't have set the camera up here. I mean, the grass is 3 inches deep. Just ridiculous. It's very subtle, guys, and you've got to do it very, very smoothly. There it is. What does it feel like? I get to the top of the swing and I go like that to start the downswing, that way. How's the feeling? Okay, I'm warmed up after 2 shots. 3 shots. Okay, big preset. Look at this. Really getting that. Now that just started happening. I'm not trying to do that, but by having that additional counter move or the additional preset, I don't know, it just locks those shoulders down. You know, that part now is really into out. If I had a camera above, it would really show that, I think, significantly. Because I've got to tell you guys, it's really, I can feel it. I can feel it. I'll turn it a little bit this way. Flare that foot out. Pre-turn that hip. There it is, guys. Wow. That's just fantastic. That is fantastic. Absolutely super. Got some great sun here, guys, for firing down range. I have to adjust that camera and put it down, but it'd be really good out there. I might do that. Just hit one more. Come on, preset that hip, JH. Turn and then counter turn. Amazing. I mean, I've never had this hand action before. Or that arm action. It's almost like a hold-off shot. But it's not, it's just perfect little draw. Perfect little draw. Because there's no wind, so we're getting, you know, perfect ball flight. Try that again. Come on, just preset that. Wow. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know. Maybe it's the effect of pushing that shoulder back, and it is staying, it is feeling like this when I hit it, which they are really closed. I've never had that feeling in my arms before. And I've certainly never had that look ever. But the ball goes beautifully. And guys, I'm never going over there with that. Okay, if Mr. X comes tomorrow, and I might talk to him before I put this up, and then we can sort of add his comments and feelings as well. But I might just hit some shots down range. It's beautiful here, guys.